Okay, I don't normally do this. Normally I set up cameras and whatnot to talk, but I guess I'm trying to be as authentic as possible in the moment as it happened. So I had another, sleep paralysis episode. And I guess I'm documenting this because, I don't know, something woke me up at probably about 3 o'clock. I woke myself up. Just I had a really bad dream. I won't go into that, but it's to do with perhaps what's going on psychologically with me, in the way of why I'm feeling not right. And I haven't felt not right ever since I had a COVID attack a couple of years ago where it's left me with really bad tinnitus. Anyway, since that time I've been trying to try and work out what my tinnitus is. And that has led to, I guess, a bit of depression and all that kind of stuff. I just haven't been able to get back on track, if you like. I can't concentrate as much, even though I do a lot of computer work and I get through a lot of work, but it's every day is a struggle. Anyway, I had this really bad dream. I got up, I checked the time. Time was, I think, 3:15, something like that. And I've been lying in bed ever since, and I felt really kind of like it was time to get up. But it's just too early. I think I'm meant to be kayaking this morning. I don't know if it was arranged for this morning or next week. So I'm kind of up anyway now. Waiting for that knock on the door. The time is what? I think it's 5 o'clock. And what happened was I checked the time at 4:30 after I had my sleep paralysis episode, and I'd already been awake probably about 10 minutes or got out of it in about 10 minutes. So what had happened was I was lying down. I was very much awake. The energy shifted. It's like every other time. The energy in the room just shifted. And there was someone lying next to me, and I could see the person, and it was basically a relative. Well, she is a relative, but she's an old relative, like an older person, but she was a little bit younger as I remembered her kind of in my earlier days. She was like a grandmother figure to me. Anyway, she's still alive. She's very old, but she's still alive. And suddenly I realized this isn't real. And as soon as that happened, my body had gone into this sleep paralysis state, and the energy really turned, like it was full on. And I couldn't move, and I could sense the beings around me. And my right hand particularly was just off to the side, and it was almost like it was not being held, but I was held down in a way. And then in my mind, I'm trying to break free of this, because this is what happens when I have sleep paralysis. And it hasn't happened for a while, but the last few times I'm like, I kind of try to slow my brain down and break free of my body, because I'm very aware of what's going on. And what happened this time is I just kept screaming telepathically in my head, whatever, this isn't real. Like, this situation that's just been created is not real, and I know this. And I made it aware of the entities that were there, or I shouldn't say maybe entities, to me they're like physical beings. It's just that they can manipulate the energy around you. Anyway, and I made them aware that, nah, like, I know you're there, I know that this isn't real, all the rest of it, and trying to break free of my grip. And it was then that I heard, and I haven't heard this before, like not consciously, in that particular situation at that particular time, like as in the process that happens. And I had this guttural kind of, hard to describe, but it's almost like frog kind of sound, but like kind of deeper in the throat. But it was kind of like clicking at the same time, but not really. It's pretty hard to describe, but it was my best performance I could give is, but no, that's just weird. I can't do it. Anyway, I hope you get the idea. My body is still like the energy. So after that, it's like they knew that I wasn't going to participate, and it just dropped. I just literally, it's like someone had just let go, right? And the energy had 90% of it at least had just instantly disappeared. However, it was still residual, and I really feel like my body or my muscles are really kind of tense. They haven't relaxed, especially in my arms and shoulders. And my head is what it is. It's always kind of a bit heavy. So ever since I had the problem with my head and tinnitus, and I'm just downstairs now, and I'm about to make my coffee. The sun's not up yet. However, I did go to the window when I was in the room. Incidentally, my partner, my wife, she stayed in a separate room, oddly enough, tonight, because there's like a house around the corner here on the lake, and it's an Airbnb, and I was just full on music earlier, so she just went to a room in the corner of the house where it's a little bit more quiet, so she's asleep still up there. So yeah, just the way that things are. So I don't normally document these things, so I'm just saying, to me, they are real. You can believe what you want. And when I say they're real, it doesn't mean that they're real, but the experience is real. Whether that's a psychological experience, whether it's a real experience. But for me, especially with my NDE and everything else, because that's when it all started, was after my NDE. And with my, what I would call interactions, like proper interactions in my surreal dreams, if you like, sometimes, to me this stuff is real. And I totally understand and support the people out there that they get criticized or afraid to talk about this stuff. And I think what we're going to find in the future is that more and more of this kind of alien phenomena is going to be out there. Just prepare yourself, because I really think there's a big change coming. Not in the sense that everyone says that. I know, like, oh, there's a big change. There's always a big change. I know that. But I think that with technology the way it is, and in a way, it's kind of manipulating our minds to even be more open to this sort of stuff. So the fantasy that was before has now become more accepted in mainstream. And I think that's part of, I won't say agenda, because I'm not saying that these things are bad, okay? And I know a lot of people think that they're demons or whatever. I don't subscribe to that at all, because of my other interactions and my other kind of, I'd just say, knowledge with my experience in this kind of situation. I think that it's a horrible way to do things, but it's still not, doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. I mean, having an operation is not a pleasant experience, but the outcome sometimes is good. And that's kind of how I see things. But at the end of the day, I really don't know. I'm not one of these people that will say it's either this way or another if I'm not sure. Okay, so we all have to feel it out ourselves. We've all got our journey, all the rest of it. Anyway, to all those of you that are out there and are dealing with this this really difficult kind of situation, I can't even say the words. I feel like my lips are swollen and my eyes are puffy, all the rest of it. Anyway, you get the idea. I feel for you. Okay, I'm going to have my coffee now. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.